With the mainstream media and government officials calling for the release of the 28 censored classified pages from the 9/11 investigation, you have to ask yourself, is this just propaganda? Is it a limited hangout, a psyop with a bigger geopolitical goal? In this video, we're going to go over this and the larger picture of exactly what is happening to give you the truth on this very important issue that has been highlighted in the American mainstream public. Now, as we are speaking, many people are calling to release these 28 pages from the 9/11 investigations, which people who have read within our government claim points a direct finger at Saudi Arabia financing the 9/11 attacks, the biggest terrorist attack on American soil. Now, with this happening, there's actually new evidence presented called Document 17. And as the Time writes today, new evidence has come to light of a definitive link between Saudi Arabian officials and the 9/11 terrorist attacks, further raising tensions as President Barack Obama travels to the kingdom. According to the report, Qasem al-Shabiri, a Saudi who became an al-Qaeda bomb maker, is believed to have taken flight lessons with some of the 9/11 hijackers in Arizona, but did not take part in the attacks on New York and the Pentagon that killed 3,000 people in 2001. He was captured in Pakistan in 2002 and has since been held at Guantanamo Bay. According to a U.S. memo known as Document 17, written in 2003 and quickly declassified last year, the FBI learned that he had buried a cache of papers shortly before he was captured. His U.S. flight certificate was in an envelope from the Saudi embassy in the United States in Washington, D.C. More information is coming to light with the direct finger pointing at Saudi Arabia financing the 9/11 attack. Now, why is this happening now? And because of all this new information, 9/11 victims' family members have put up a law in Congress that will allow them to sue Saudi Arabia for the 9/11 attacks. Saudi Arabia responded by saying it will liquidate its treasury holding, $750 billion from the U.S. economy, if their role in 9/11 is exposed. And of course, now Paul Ryan and Barack Obama plan to veto the bill allowing the family members to sue Saudi Arabia, and the victims' family members are like, hey, whose side are you on? There's clear documentation, not only with the 28 pages, not only with this new Document 17, pointing with Saudi Arabia's role with 9/11. And the family members are like, wait, what is going on here? Barack Obama came down to ground zero during one of the 9/11 anniversaries, spoke to the 9/11 victims' family members, and told them that he would release the 28 pages, and he has yet to do so. So what is happening here? Because we're obviously showing how the United States and Barack Obama are covering up the real truth behind 9/11. Well, with all of this happening, with many people saying that Saudi Arabia is threatening to destabilize and destroy the U.S. economy if their role of 9/11 is exposed, which kind of points to the fact that they are guilty of doing and participating in this crime. Well, Saudi Arabia called for and demanded a recalibration of relations with the United States. And of course, Barack Obama flew down, and he's in Saudi Arabia right now, kissing the hands of the Saudi prince, bowing down to them to get rid of all these disputes. Now, why is there such a push from the establishment against Saudi Arabia right now? Well, there's something bigger happening geopolitically that people need to understand. The oil market and the hype and the crisis signal greater troubles ahead, of course, with the lower oil and gas prices around the world. This is creating an economic shock for Saudi Arabia, which is even preparing for this globally, and they have started even selling off Saudi Aramco stocks in order to prepare for this new geopolitical landscape where oil is not as dominant as it was before. You see Saudi Arabia even moving away from oil, trying to save their economy, because ultimately the United States and Saudi Arabia had a very strong connection, a very strong alliance, mainly to prop up the petrodollar. And now Saudi Arabia moving away from oil, the petrodollar is at stake. This could be one reason why the United States establishment is pushing pressure on Saudi Arabia, saying, look, we could cause you a lot of trouble with this 9/11 information. You do not want to go against us. You do not want to go against the petrodollar. You better stay with us, or we're going to publicly shame you around the world for your participation in 9/11. This could be one of the reasons But of course, it's not definitive. This is only an estimated guess with what is happening geopolitically. But what we are seeing is that the United States, not only President George W. Bush, but also President Barack Obama, are covering up the truth behind 9/11. Now, is this just one aspect of it? Of course, it gets a lot bigger and a lot more complicated, because you have to ask yourself, with the United States throwing Saudi Arabia underneath the bus right now, was it Saudi Arabia who made the largest Air Force in the world, NORAD, stand down on 9/11 for 2 hours as the terrorist attacks were happening here in the United States? Was it Saudi Arabia that stood down our Air Force and didn't intercept any of those airplanes when it was standard protocol to intercept them within 15 minutes whenever they had got? Of course, no. Saudi Arabia didn't do that. Is it Saudi Arabia keeping dozens of camera footage of exactly what happened to the Pentagon? No, it's the United States. The Pentagon released one short clip here of a couple seconds showing a mysterious flame. In reality, if it was a huge Boeing aircraft, we would have seen something like this, but we only seen this. And now the Pentagon, the most surveilled area in the world, is keeping secret all of the surveillance cameras, only releasing this one. Is it Saudi Arabia who's doing that? Was it Saudi Arabia who was a part of a secret Pentagon operation called Able Danger that identified the role of 9/11 ringleader Muhammad Atta and 3 other hijackers before 9/11 in a secret Pentagon program and then destroyed those documents? Was it Saudi Arabia? No. Was it Saudi Arabia who gave 15 of the 19 hijackers visas when they didn't qualify for them? No. It was a secret program under the State Department with the CIA's involvement, as Michael Springman told everyone, as the whistleblower who came out with this very important information, documented exactly how he was denying known terrorist visas, and yet they were expedited through an express visa program run by the CIA, allowing Al-Qaeda into the United States. Those same 9/11 hijackers got the visas from the same consulate that he was working at and were allowed through the same express program to be allowed into the country with the upper echelons CIA help to be in the United States. Was it Saudi Arabia who did that? No. It was our own government. There's a reason why Saudi Arabia is being thrown underneath the bus right now. The picture is a lot bigger. Share this video with your friends so you don't fall for the big psyop that's happening right now with the 28 pages. It goes beyond that. The truth is extremely important for everyone to understand, not just a limited hangout. So share this with anyone who thinks these 28 pages are great that they're finally coming out, because the picture is, of course, a lot bigger. Subscribe. Don't forget to donate to keep our operations fully free and fully sustained by you and for you, because no one else, especially in the mainstream media who are pushing these 28 pages, will go deep as we have gone deep in this video. Subscribe. We're going to have a lot more information coming here your way on youtube.com/WeAreChange.